Hi, Sandra Wilson here to help you have a happier relationship in midlife. Now, today's little video is inspired by somebody who had posted in a support group, and it was a very interesting and I think very common scenario in our relationships when we find that we're just not communicating the way we would like. So this lady said, my husband and I are in a stalemate situation. Whenever we communicate, I am mistrustful and he is very distant. And she says, I hate the way I need constant reassurance from him, that he loves me, even if he never shows any real signs that he doesn't. He can often seem distant. And if I ask him if he loves me, which I really try not to do too often because he just gets cross, he either snaps and says, of course I do, I live with you, don't I? Or he just says, yes, but I wish you wouldn't keep asking me. I just doubt his love, and I am so mistrustful, and every time he goes out with his friends, I assume he will fancy other women, and if he comes home from work late, I assume he's having an affair. And I don't voice this because he'll just get angry and think I'm bonkers. And even though he does seem happy most of the time, we don't really argue as such, but this does keep cropping up and we don't really seem to be able to get past it. And now I am noticing that I've developed a sneaky way of trying to prove he loves me by talking about other men. So for example, I'll say, oh, I was chatting to so-and-so the other day and they said they really liked my hairstyle or such like. And I know I'm trying to provoke him and make him jealous. It's deeply frustrating. I'm not without humour here. You know, I do try to laugh at myself, but it really is driving me potty, driving him potty. So what is actually going on here? And one of them is anxious, needs to be reassured. One is distant. Maybe it sounds familiar. And I really wanted to try to respond to this lady and help her understand a little bit about her attachment style. And you may have encountered attachment styles. It's like a psychology theory. So her attachment style is anxious. Anxious attachment can be characterised by a deep-seated fear of being abandoned. So constant reassurance is needed, and in some very devious ways. Our survival instinct is powerful and we need to belong, to feel wanted, to feel special, to feel needed. And if we have ever experienced abandonment in the past, having this type of attachment style can be common. Now the husband is deflecting and distant. Yes, maybe he has had enough of being grilled every 5 minutes or even manipulated by his wife into expressing his love. But constant failure to reassure can be another sign of another challenging attachment style, which is avoidant. And this type values their independence and views relationships as, you know, relationships where there's no space to breathe as being claustrophobic, and they might feel trapped or unwilling to truly commit, let alone communicate deep, intimate feelings. And you kind of wonder how on earth an avoidant style and an attachment style ever got married in the first place. So having a communication breakdown when one of you is anxious and the other is avoidant can be a recipe for disaster. But it doesn't have to be. A compromise could be reached with better communication, and the clue often does lie in our emotional past, our relationships with our parents, the old wounds we have, the patterns we've learned over time to survive. and this is not something most people can figure out by themselves. Attachment styles can be changed with time, with patience and commitment, usually with the help of a therapist. But hopefully I got a few helpful tips here that might help you to be able to do this, especially if, like this lady, you are an anxious type. So have a little think. Maybe when you're feeling calm, grab a cup of tea and a notepad. What do you think you need, really? Is it love? Or is it a way of seeking acceptance and approval? Look at your life as a whole. Can you find evidence anywhere else that you are lovable, that you do possess amazing qualities? Even though this can make your toes curl up with embarrassment, grab a pen and write a list of 5 things that you like about yourself, or even love about yourself. And remind yourself of these things every single day when you wake up, and start to look at how you can fill your life up in other ways, with hobbies, with friendships, with family, your career. So I hope that has helped. Bye for now.